Sentinel Prime, we bid you return. Hold your fire! Hold your fire! Sentinel, stop! It is I, Optimus Prime. It is alright. You are here. You are safe, Sentinel. It's the war. The war. The war was lost. Cybertron is but a barren wasteland now.
This right here is a holy grail. What's up, YouTubers one and all? My name is Fate1987, and if you got this figure, well, congratulations, because I got it for way less than you did, unless you got it for way less than I did back then. And then on top of that, it's still in good condition. This is pretty much Hasbro's first ever take on a downscale. And I think they did pretty well. Even though the transformation is a little wonky at times. This is Transformers Hunt for the Decepticons Battle Blades Voyager class Optimus Prime. Oh boy. Let's throw in a good contender, first of all. Let's throw in a good vehicle mode to fight. Bam! Honestly, I like this. I really do like this type of, it really works in truth. If I were to just compare it with something else, let's see here. Let's bring in Bumblebee. Doesn't exactly totally work. I am not comparing this guy. His vehicle mode sucks, and his transformation has kind of been wearing off on me a whole lot. So you'll be only seeing him in a robot mode comparison, and you'll be seeing a whole lot of differences. But the point is, if I were to choose between the two, I'd honestly prefer his transformation better than this one. I mean, don't get me wrong, this figure is really good. But it's nothing compared to this in the vehicle mode. It is completely trash. I'll possibly throw a small picture up on the screen, like right now. So, there we go. And then, did we get to the vehicle? I mean, we kind of... Well, let's do one more comparison. Next, the Rise of the Beast version, because we did tease that one earlier, and this is now the official. And, yeah, I mean, what else do I have to say? This figure is really good. On top of that, it's very clean. The bottom is... You can't really see much of the bottom, in truth. It's really clean. And it can roll. It can roll because, it can roll. So that's good. But, your transformation, you do need to practice in order to get it right. And thankfully, I've been practicing enough, so I'd say let's finally get down to it, because there really isn't much left to say. There's also some secret features on this. And yes, I will be bringing the Fallen out for this review. There is a reason why I will be bringing the Fallen out. Okay, I'm going to admit right here, Prime's going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass. I ain't going to lie. First, what's best to do is that you're going to untab these, and then there's this big clip right here, and then there's a big tab, and you're going to bring that, and then you're just going to kind of angle it that way. And just leave it like that for now. Do the exact same thing here. We're going to angle it that way, and like so. So that kind of leaves it kind of like a flying truck kind of thing. I don't know. Anyways, you're going to untab this. This is also going to untab from here. And then you're also going to untab from here. And then it's going to free all of this up. We're going to work on the legs. Let's work on the legs. It's the easiest thing. So we're going to split the legs. And then we're going to bring them up on this double hinge, and God. Okay, so we're going to untap from here, by the way, and we're also going to roll this up. We're going to bring the foot down, and then we're going to slide this out until it just clicks out into place. Slide this out until it just clicks into place, which it already did. And then we're also going to spin this up. And then what's going to happen here is that we're going to accordion this carefully, because I don't know, this is the, I mean, this is an old figure. Also, unpeg the wheels and kind of just bring them back a little bit. And there's one leg all done. Second verse, same as the first, and good God. And kind of straighten it out, and then bring it out, and then also bring out the knee pads a little bit. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, now let's work on the back. The back is a little bit strange. So, first you want to do is you want to unpeg a little bit so this can spin around. And that just stays there for now. Do the same thing here, spin around. Then you can unpeg from here. You can spin around carefully. And then just kind of leave that like that. This is for gonna be the back of the vehicle. So you're going to need to now accordion all of this together. Like so. And then this peg's gonna go into here. Like so. And it's not a great fit, I'm gonna say that. Especially for a figure this old. So we're gonna basically leave that there. And now we're going to work on the arms. And this part kind of frustrates me when going back into vehicle mode. So from here, we're going to bring this down. We're going to untab from here. And then we're going to spin this around 180, and at the same time also lift this up. That's going to be very important. And then kind of straighten out the arm. And then you can push this up to kind of give it a little bit more transformed in a way. And you're just going to leave it like that for now. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Bring this up, untab and spin around, then spin around. This arm's a little bit more tolerant, possibly, I don't know. And that was not supposed to fall off. Luckily, it can be easily just tapped back on. That's the first time it's actually fallen off, and it's on camera, no less. So, there we go. And, now, all that remains is actually getting the other stuff. So, what you want to do is, let's fold up the hands. And they are on a weird, peg joint, specifically for the guns. I don't think this figure can hold anything else, but we'll try. We'll try. You know, let's put the blades out now, because, you know, that's something fun, right? Put the blades out. And then, coming up here, we're going to split this. And then we're going to lift these up just enough. Just enough. We're going to open that up. And then we're going to lift this part up. We're going to bring this, we're going to unpeg this part so you can actually bring this entire section back. And it's best if you have this out of the way. before you do that. Because this actually unplugs, so you can have more space to plug Optimus Prime's head in. See how this is actually on a hinge? You will need to unplug all that. And at the same time, just make sure that everything is out of the way. And then just kind of force his head through there. Then you can tab it back in. It hasn't already, like so. You can take this. This tab's a little bit broken, unfortunately. But essentially what you need to do is that you need to angle it enough so... That was not supposed to happen. I'm going to do this away from you guys so I can actually fix this and not reveal it. Well, I mean, I already said it, didn't I? So, it is what it is. So this is going to kind of just tab in right there. Like so. And then finally what's going to happen is that we're going to tab these in right here. And then use this arm to kind of lock into place. There's a little locking slot here, used from the back of the arm here. And what we're going to do is we're going to lock it in. And it's a little bit difficult, I ain't gonna lie. Give me a moment. And with all that being done, here is Optimus Prime in his robot mode. Finally. It's the Battle Blaze version, and holy slag, this looks good. I ain't going to lie when I say that I really do like this figure, but there are a few problems. And on top of that, this part is breaking a little bit, so... yeah. Also, did you know that they molded an Autobot symbol? I don't know where exactly they did. Right there. Do you see that little... see that little thing right there, right above the gold? That's an Autobot symbol. They tried molding it. I really do appreciate it. So, yeah, also the eyes aren't exactly the best. And the neck is wonky at best, but... I mean, what can you do? Also, it's on lead piping, so of course it would be a little bit different. But, this is possibly the most accurate Optimus I have in my collection. Well, accurate aside from, Bayverse and whatnot. Though, I do like the backpack on this guy, don't get me wrong. But the truck mode easily wins in this one. So, there's a quick comparison between the two so you can see what they did right and wrong. And, is it just me, or is the Hunt for Decepticons a little taller? Yeah, I mean, I thought they were the same size, but no, the Prime is a little bit taller, but still, he's Studio Series scale. I don't mind this at all, actually. I don't mind this scale. I really don't. On top of that, I really do like how this is made from like real parts. Also, last part transformation. Fold up the visors, the sun visors. Kind of just give them a little bit more of that flair. There we go. That's better. That's better. But yeah, I mean, sure, they did this one fine because they had to use faux parts and whatnot, but the backpack is pretty much better than this one. But there's a reason why the backpack is fatter on this one. Also, another quick comparison. Let's compare movies 1 to 3 to a movie that, according to fucking Lorenzo, is before it. Yeah, I don't like that. But at the same time, I do like how this is accurate for Bay. This is accurate for The Rise of the Beast. Like, I don't think there's any concept on this guy. This is, like, really full on from the movie. So, yeah. Oh, and one last thing. You gotta take this part back here, and you just gotta clip it onto these. And sometimes it will not exactly stay, and on top of that, this will also clip off. So, yeah, it's a bit of a... This figure is a bit of a fiddle factor, ain't gonna lie. On top of that, this figure is over a decade old. Almost a decade and a half, actually, because this came out in 2009 or 2010, one of the two. So, we're gonna also give him guns. Now, this is something Buster Prime does. Buster Prime is the Japan hook version, Battle Blades hook version of this mold, and there we go. That's better. And that's for the leader class that this is actually heavily based off of. I'm not gonna own the leader class. As much as I want to, I think this is fine enough. Now, of course, you can just fold these out and these become guns, so you can pew pew bang bang. And you can also slice dice. Now, the articulation and the joints are a little bit loose on this figure. I ain't going to lie. So he has no waist or wrist swivels. He does have a ball-jointed head. You can look up and down thanks to the neck that is constantly being dislocated. He has a shoulders that kind of are a little bit loose. Bicep swivel, elbow rotation, elbow bend. That's like a little bit over 90 degrees, which is nice. Legs can kick forward that far. They can kick back that far. They cannot do the full splits because of this little part that's in the way. They have a thigh swivel. We have a little over 90 degree bend at the knee. And then we have some ankle tilt, which is nice. And also some toe tilt and whatnot. Toe back and forth. So, really, this guy is on par with some of the other Studio Series figures that we've seen in terms of Prime. And you know what? I like it. The only thing is that he's missing a waist joint. But, again, how can you engineer a waist joint from this type of transformation? I don't think you can. So, yeah, that's it. And now it's time for comparison, because we kind of wasted enough time on this. So, for side comparison, let's compare next to other people besides Prime. Well, first of all, let's bring in Ironhide. See how that looks. And because he's taller than this Prime, just by a little bit, I think this actually works a lot better than the Studio Series. Here he is next to a leader class, Shockwave. Just so you can see how those two scale up, and yeah, I really do like this. I like that. And then for a deluxe class comparison, well, let's bring in Bumblebee. Now, of course, this ain't the Bayverse Bumblebee, this is the Rise of the Beast Bumblebee, because it's my favorite, so just deal with it. So, there you go. And if you want a core class, well, we can always bring an RC. So, there you go. Alright, now that segment is done, we could pretty much go back to transformation, and this one's a little bit of a pain. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to attach the gas tanks back. So we have these two ports here, and they essentially need to align with back here. They need to basically have this port kind of sitting on this flap, and then you just kind of slot these in like so, and that popped off. Give me a moment. Okay, so it's best to have this down first of all, so you can actually put these in properly. And what you're supposed to do is that you just slide these up in here, like so, and then do the exact same thing on the other side. Slide these in, using these two ports, like so. And that should create all that, and then you know what, just leave this down because we're going to do the transformation. So first what I like to do is, I like to do the hands first. So what we're going to do is that we're going to open these up just enough to flip these in, push them down, and then bring down this section until it just kind of locks into place, kind of. Doesn't really do much. Ow. Stand, boy. Stand. Sorry, I'm a little bit troubled right now because my leg's hurting and I'm trying to do all this stuff. But, fold this in, a bit down, and then just bring this part down, like so. Let's work on the legs. Work on the legs is simply just push these in and then... Come on. There we go. There we go. So kind of push these in like so, and then you can angle this where this tab is going to lock into this port right here. This port is going to plop into this slot right here, like so. And that's kind of going to lock into place, not really. Like that. The same thing on the other side. Spin this around, and make sure you don't miss it, and just peg it in. And now that we have the feet all flattened out, let's work on the upper body. So what we're going to do is that we're going to push these back into their place, like so. We're going to lift Optimus heads up, and then kind of just undo everything. So that means bring the arms down, bring the arms down, and then flip this up, and then flip this up. What we're going to do is we're going to push this in, and we're going to push this in, like so. Now, if you remember, there was a way to actually do this without actually bringing the Matrix back up. Oh, by the way, the Matrix is in there. In order to activate it, you have to actually blow this guy apart. Oh, that's one more we forgot. Thankfully, he is still on one more, still on the same height. So, in order to do this, we're going to push this back in. We're going to bring these down as much as we can. We're have to undo this. Sorry for the interruption, but I forgot one more comparison that I prepared for, kinda. Even though he's still not in all pieces, but if we had the Matrix, then we most definitely have Studio Series Fallen. And yeah, he can hold the Matrix very well. And look at that. Look at that. I like that scale. I really do like it. It's... Again, this is Studio Series. Of course it would be. So, take this back out, put them off screen. You're done. Just drop the matrix. And then what you basically do is that you can just plug it back in here using this little ballpoint jetpack or whatever. Just kind of make sure it's all snug before you push it back in there. And then, back to the transformation, we're going to lift this section back. At the same time, bring all of this down because you're going to need it out of the way. But lift the section back and kind of try not to push that out of place. And then you're going to push the neck piece up and then push the head in the little cavity like so. Then you can push the thing back up. And this is where it really starts kind of getting fiddly. And what we need to do is we need to work on the arms. The arms are hell to work with. I'm sorry, but they are. The first thing we need to do is that we need to lift the arm up and we need to 180 this. Alright. It's best to have the blades folded out and then you turn it this way. So, then you do that. And then there's this little part right here and a little slot right there. And what you need to do is that you need to spin it and kind of have it all lined up like so. Fold the blade back up right underneath. This part. And then you just bring it all up. Like so. And yeah, it does not seem stable. It really does not. Also, these legs just kind of like to knock in. What the heck? But do the same thing on their side. I like to flip the blade out so I can spin this around. Peg and port. Make sure this is all straight, because you're going to need clearance and whatever. Flip this around. Make sure that's all the way down and through. And then kind of just lift it up. Past all this. And at the same time, if you already undid it, or haven't done it, push these in, like so. And then what essentially going to happen is that these are going to kind of sandwich in. And well, first on-screen breakage, everyone. That part broke off. But yeah, it's pretty much going to line up like so. This is going to affect a few tabs up here, and I don't do this part until after I do the legs and untab the rest of the truck. But at the same time, it is useful to do so. You basically gotta tab it all together, and it is a pain to fucking do. It really is a pain. But yeah, that's how you want that looking for now. Let's work on the legs, and the legs are, again, really simple. I mean, if you've already done this step, then good job. What you need to do is that you need to basically unpeg the legs. Okay. You need to unpeg the legs like this, and make sure that tab is in. And then kind of flatten it down, and then do the exact same thing on the side. You're going to unpeg the leg. Like so. And then there's this little peg here that you're just going to need to peg together at the same time. You can peg the feet together if they would even push in together, and like so. So you can see how all of this kind of just lines up just like that, and it kind of doesn't at the same time. You need to plug this in, and you need to plug this in, like so. Make sure that they are kind of like at an angle like this, and then now you can rip all this apart. Just like that. You can rip all this apart, you can bring this all down and whatever. And we're almost done with the transformation. It's difficult, but at the same time not. You just gotta know exactly what the heck you're doing. So, obviously, you gotta bring this all up and whatever. We're going to spin this around and try not to pop it off there. Let's try that again. And then just kind of flip these around and push them in there, and then we're gonna do nothing with that because we gotta straighten out all this. We gotta straighten out all this. This is possibly the most frustrating part, is tapping the truck all back into vehicle mode. The first thing we want to do is that we have these big tabs here that are thankfully not broken. And we're going to use these slots here to kind of tab them in place. Like so. This is going to allow all of this truck right up here to kind of just tab into the grill, and these door slots and whatnot just kind of tabbing in here and whatnot, and this is basically going to line up this part of the truck. And then you use these back here to kind of situate all that and kind of make sure everything's all sitting nice and flush. You lift that up a little bit just to give enough, flatness. You can bring all this up and over and just simply kind of rest it into place, or lock into place, because there are tabs on either side. So that creates like the back of it. Make sure it's all flat and whatnot. And finally, while you're holding this down, because I suggest you do that for the best possible thing, you're going to bring these, lift them out, and bring them down. Lift them out, bring them down, and then you're going to lift these up like so. Make sure they are aligned properly, and with this double slider joint you're going to tab everything into place, just like so. The transformation shouldn't take that long off camera, but on camera I had to go more slowly, and I also got interrupted by a transformation. But there you have Optimus Prime in his vehicle mode, and the end of the review. And you know what? I love this figure. This is a figure that I really recommend you should get, but you need to take your time on it for transformation, because that is definitely needed. But, yeah, thank you all for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. And as always, till all are one.